What is up YouTube? I am back again with another video and I am doing another list. Finally, I'm doing one of these. I know they aren't necessarily what everybody might want to see. Something that I enjoy doing only because, I want to give my recommendations even though we all have different tastes, but I'd like to feel like some people have the same sensibilities as I do. In any case, that's the reason for the list that I'm doing today, which is 5 games to play this holiday season. 2019 has been a fantastic year, I think, for games in the sense that we've gotten a lot of AAA games across every platform: Xbox, PS4, PC, Switch, even the lesser knowns like the DS, but that's neither here nor there. And I just thought that, if I can make a short list of games that I think are must plays, at least for the holiday season. You can play by yourself, you can play with your friends, you can play with your family. These are games that I think everybody across the board is going to enjoy. So without any further ado, I go by the name of Kevin Kryptonite. Welcome to the video and let's get right into it. Now, starting with number 5, Resident Evil 2 Remake. This game came out a bit earlier in this year. I think it came out in January. It's from the ground up. The graphics have been up to res from the original PS2 game, I believe. And it's a survival horror game, in case of you all don't know about the Resident Evil series. Survival horror game was developed by Capcom. You play as the protagonist Leon S. Kennedy, and you have the option to also play as Claire Redfield, which is a college student. Now, Leon is a police officer. He is a rookie coming towards Raccoon City to be the new recruit there when a zombie outbreak happens. So now it's up to you to try and basically escape the police precinct, which I don't know, they don't really explain this even in the older games, but it seems like this wasn't a police station to begin with, because there's underground features, there's puzzles. You wouldn't think a police station would have things like that, but Resident Evil 2 Remake, if you're not into the survival horror genre or just the horror genre in general, I don't know if this game is for you. Some people do say that they found the original Resident Evil 2 game to be a bit more scary only because of how low res it was, and when you opened doors, you didn't really see what was going to be on the other side of the door until you opened it. Like, you would open a door, a cutscene would play of a door opening and closing, you would see nothing else, and then you'd be met with the next scene of whatever would be behind that door. But with the Resident Evil 2 Remake, I feel the up-res graphics make it more gory. Definitely there's a lot more blood, viscera, all of that. But in terms of it being scary, yeah, there's jump scares, there's a lot of enemies that you're not going to want to fight, some that you outright cannot kill. And also the scarcity of the resources that you have add to the feeling of dread while you're playing this game. So yes, Resident Evil 2 Remake, I think it is a must-buy, must-play this holiday season. While you're on the couch with your friends or while playing by yourself, it's definitely going to be worth the buy. Next up, Jump Force. Now, Jump Force is a interesting entry in that it's a fighting game. So let's start with that. It's a crossover fighting game. It was developed by a studio by the name of Spike Chunsoft and is published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Now, why I say this is interesting, it's like I said, it's a crossover fighting game, and it's got almost any anime character that you've ever seen in the Shonen Jump series. In case you don't know, Shonen Jump is a weekly magazine that comes out with all of your kind of favorite animes you've seen, from Dragon Ball Z to One Piece to Saint Seiya to Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically any anime that you've watched as a kid is probably going to be included in this game. They've got about like 40 fighting characters that you can choose from, so variety is definitely not a problem. I said it was interesting because the Jump Force games apparently have been a thing since the Nintendo NES, that's the Nintendo Entertainment System. So way back then, the Shonen Jump games were a thing. It's just that they were always Japanese released. They've never released one widespread, and this is the first entry into that. So yes, I feel like it's going to be a good holiday game because obviously it is a 1v1 fighting game. You can play offline and online multiplayer. It's got a pretty compelling story mode, even though it is kind of confusing. I won't spoil what it's about, but It's definitely worth the buy, I feel. And there's not much to be said about it. It's a fighting game, it's got anime characters, it's a good game all around, and I think it is definitely worth the buy. That is Shonen Jump. Next up, I want to talk about Crash Team Racing. Now, Crash Team Racing originally released on the PS2, I believe. I could be mistaken, maybe it was the PS1. And let's just be real about it. It was a response to the then very popular Mario Kart Racer. There was a whole period of where there was a bunch of racing games being released, just trying to, kind of leech off the success of the Mario racing games. And Crash Team Racing is no exception to that. And as controversial as this might seem, I kind of like Crash Team Racing more than I did any other racing game. It was fun, even though the mechanics across all the board are the same for these games. It's 10 people start off at the starting line. You race, you pick up weapons and all types of pickups along the way, and you just try to get first. Pretty standard stuff, but as a fan of just the Crash series, I found it very interesting to be able to play as all these characters that you came across in those games. It's real fun. The maps are colorful, especially in this iteration of Crash Team Racing. It's on PS4 only, unfortunately, but if you have a PS4, definitely pick it up, because it is just definitely a fun game to play with whoever you want to play with. And I feel like there's going to be many controllers thrown at the screen for people knowing shortcuts, because even in the original game it was like that. If you knew the shortcuts, you were untouchable in this game. It's got quite a large variety of maps that you either unlock along the way. You can also play online to test your skills on people online. So Crash Team Racing, please check it out. It's a must get. I think it's going to be a wonderful game to get this holiday season. Next up, Mortal Kombat 11, I feel like is a must get for this holiday season, a must play. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat, it's a very well-known brand. Mortal Kombat 11, what can I say is really new about this game? Well, the story mode has changed. It's changed the events from Mortal Kombat 10 and 9. I think 9, 10 and 11 make this trilogy of where this game kind of is right now from what it was really when 9 started, or what they set up in 9 up until now. Now they've kind of wrapped things up. I don't feel like there's going to be too much change in any other Mortal Kombat game if they be after Mortal Kombat 11. The story mode it's quite interesting. Mortal Kombat 11 hasn't really been one of the games that the story modes have been a win. You're really there just for the online multiplayer or the offline multiplayer and the eccentric cast that they normally have, that they put into these games that aren't part of Mortal Kombat traditionally. To name a few that are out at this moment, we have Shang Tsung, we have Nightwolf, and as of the 8th of October, I think we're going to have the T-800 Terminator. He's going to be in the game. If you want to really see the whole list of the characters that are going to be revealed, they've been leaked. They were leaked ages ago, so you can go online and find out who the rest of the characters are going to be. But that is Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know, it's the fighting mechanics really haven't changed as much, apart from a few things that make it more interesting for competitive play if you're going to play professionally. It's definitely changed up the matter of what the game used to be, just like from Mortal Kombat 10 and 9. But it's definitely a game you can just pick up and play. It's fun. I feel like it's going to be a game that you're going to want to play with your friends and family just all the time. It's going to be real graphic for some of y'all, so careful there, but otherwise it's just a great game all around. And last but not least, a game that I think is a must buy for this holiday season is Days Gone. Now, Days Gone is developed by Naughty Dog. It has the feels, if you ever played The Last of Us, it has the feel of The Last of Us being a survival horror game. There's resource, I wouldn't say management as such, but you get to craft. There's a crafting system. There is obviously gunplay and melee weapon play. There's stealth sections, And let me tell you just a little bit about what this game is set in. So this game is set in a post-apocalyptic Oregon. It's 2 years after a global pandemic has sprung, and you play as the character Deacon. So Deacon is on a search to look for his wife. The game is played in a third-person perspective, and there is a heavy emphasis on your motorcycle, your motorbike. It's basically acts as an inventory, and it's your main mode of transportation in and around the map. You have to make sure that you give it repairs, that you fuel it with gas. Some people didn't like the aspect that you were so tethered to the bike, but I feel like it gives a fresh new take on these survival games that, well, pretty much all the same. There was going to be some sort of like maintenance aspect to the game, and making the bike sort of a secondary character or like for yourself makes it interesting for me. They are zombies in this game, but not necessarily called zombies. They're called freakers, and you can get overwhelmed by these freakers because this game, it makes use of a horde sort of mechanic where they swarm you in like in large groups. If you make too much noise when you're fighting any one of these small groups of freakers, you can get overwhelmed, and then all you can really do is run. There is no point in really standing and fighting them. It's a very beautiful game. I think it's definitely a contender for Game of the Year. And yeah, Days Gone, please check it out. I think it is a must play. And that will be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it very much. I very much enjoyed making this video. I'm going to continue to be making a few more list-based videos, and so just let me know in the comments whether or not what you'd like to see, if you'd like me to continue this series. But other than that, please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I may upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys. It